Hello everyone and welcome back to today's video. It has been a while since I've made a video and I am finally back once again. I do apologize for the delay in videos. School and work have been insane, and I've been saying this in the last couple of videos, but I do actually mean it. I get called in all the time, so I apologize for the lack of them, but more coming soon. Anyway, today we are going to take a look at a paid resource. This one is called Station Alert, and the reason why I like this one so much is because it's so realistic into kind of what you would have in real life. So if you don't know, a lot of fire stations, they don't listen to the radio all the time because there's a lot of radio traffic. If you've ever worked for a department or have listened to it online, there's constant talking back and forth. It would be kind of stupid if you were at the station and you just had that on constantly. So they use an alerting system. Most do. Some departments don't, but a lot do. That will cause it has like a screen, and then it will pop up whenever there's a alert of a call, and then that will trigger other functions in the station. It could be lights on the roof like this picture here. It could be speakers, etc., etc. So this resource does something cool. It adds all of this and it gives you a nice little type of UI configuration through the game. It's a first person builder on building all of this in game. And you can use it with any of your existing MLOs for stations. Now, for this video, we're going to use this free Polito Bay station. There are a lot that you can use. You can obviously use any type of MLO you have. I would recommend finding ones with working doors. As long as the doors go up and down, that will work. So the default GTA fire stations aren't going to work with this. You're going to have to find an MLO that has working doors. So that's the only thing to remember. I've already installed this on my server, so I'm not going to go through installing an MLO. There's plenty of videos on how to do that on this channel if you haven't done it in the past. So I'm going to just close that out. We're just going to focus on the actual resource today. So it's pretty simple. There is a add-on as well where it will read out the station alert using AI. That is a monthly. The overall resource itself is a one-time purchase. Obviously I am not getting paid to make this video or anything. This is just a general review. So I guess we'll like saying that at the beginning of resources. They do have a very useful documentation side as well if you're interested in kind of seeing what type of integrations you have. You can use Z-Fires. It will have an automatic incident, so it will alert automatically if your fire starts. Dispatch Smart Fire, same there. It will alert on a start of a fire. All of that can be found in here, and you can find all that info. I'll leave a link to this down on the description below. They also have a Sonoran edition. If you have Sonoran CAD Pro, you can get the version that is a light version of Station Alert. So you can go ahead and try that out. If you have Sonoran Pro, I think that's a monthly subscription through Sonoran, but I don't have that, so we're just using the additional standalone version of Station Alert for this video. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at how to do this. Obviously, once you buy it over here on their store, you can go ahead and find it in your Keymaster Granted Access, or your CFX portal, they call it now. You just go to Assets, Granted Assets, search for Inferno Collection or Station Alert, and you'll find it pop up here, and click the big download button. Pretty simple. It will then go ahead and download. One thing to remember is when you are downloading assets through this, your server key that is in your server.cfg file must match the same server key you're using on your portal. Otherwise, that will not work. So in order to get started, we have a little bit of a different install than just drag and drop. It's pretty much drag and drop, but there's still a couple of differences. First, you're going to just go ahead and open up that file that just downloaded. And in here, you can see there is a Inferno Collection folder. And in here is the Station Alert itself. So we're going to go to our resources folder. I'm using my recording server for this because I have the MLOs in there. So I'm going to find, I don't already have this resource installed. So I'm just going to go ahead and drag this Inferno Collection folder into the resources. And when we go in here, you can see there's an Inferno Station Alert. And you can see there is a config file in here. If you edit this with your favorite editor, Notepad++ or anything, you can see it has a lot of info in here you can change. How many seconds should the doors close after an alert? How many seconds should the lights change after an alert? What are your tones? So if you have tones, you can go ahead and edit this up. By default, obviously, it just takes the MP4 files, and I believe you can change those somewhere in here. They're in the assets folder, UI assets. So if you have a custom alert tone you want to use, you can obviously modify that to your liking. Call screens, what's the logo URL? What time should it be? What's your time zone? So obviously I'm not in Australia, I'm in Los Angeles, and you can find that online to change that up. What's your time zone tag? What's the prop name for your screen? All of that can be changed. So if you have a custom screen, you can go ahead and modify that to your custom prop name. Then if you have the add-on for the Station Alert add-on that has the subscription, you can go ahead and enable this. You will put your payment reference. You get an email here to verify that. I'm not going to go through this section in this video. I will do that in a second video. I want to go through just a general resource that you get if you're not paying for their subscription one. For your advanced features, you can disable manual interactions if you want. You can make it slower doors. You can change the props, the colors, indicators of the props and stuff if you have all that custom stuff. If you have a custom IP and all of that, you can modify this to your liking for if you're using any HTTPS requests from that AI add-on. You should not touch any of this unless you know what you're doing. Obviously, I'm not going to modify any of it, so I don't have to worry about it. And then obviously you have the permissions down here at the bottom. If you use Discord permissions or something, you can modify this to your needs. Obviously, I don't, so I'm going to leave this completely default. I am a group admin through Steam on my recording server, so I don't have to worry about any of that. But in short, if you're an admin, it's going to give you the tools and the editor. And if you are not an admin, it's just going to let you use the doors, the computer, and the buzzer by default. So you can customize all of this to your liking. I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to keep it completely default in here. But if you run into any problems, you can go ahead and check out their wiki, and it has an entire configuration section on all of the default and what all of these aspects do. So you can go ahead and set this up to your liking. Anyway, let's go ahead and actually install and get this in our server.cfg. So now that we've pasted this in, what I like doing is I like just right-clicking, renaming, not actually renaming the folder, but copying the name of the folder, Inferno Collection. That way, when I go and edit my server.cfg with my favorite editor, I can just type in Shure and paste in that name, Inferno Collection, down here at the bottom. That means we are good to go with this section. But if we go over to their wiki, you can see we have to add an execute to the top of the server.cfg file. The reason for this is the way the permissions that we just talked about will work. So you're going to go ahead and copy this from their wiki, which is located in the description, and you're going to go all the way to the top and just make sure you have it in here. You can see I was testing it earlier, so I do. It's just execute Inferno Station Alert config.cfg. That means all of the permissions from that file are going to be executed when the server starts up. And that is it. That is all you have to do to actually install the resource. Now, obviously, that's not all we're doing to actually get started here, because we do have to configure the actual resource to use things. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to start up our server. We're going to hop in game, and I'll show you how you can use the tool that they have embedded to create your station, and how you actually set that up on the long term. So let's get started. All right, so we are loading in a game here. Now, obviously, the first time you load in, you're going to have to go locate wherever your fire station is. In my case, it's going to be Paleto Bay. So we thankfully spawned in right above Paleto Bay, which makes this a lot easier. So we're going to come down here to the fire station, and you can see by default with this MLO, there is a opening door on both sides. So we got door 1, door 2, door 3, and door 4. And then in here, you can see we have the interior with the computers and all of this good stuff. So you may be wondering, how do we actually get started? I don't see any of the alerting tools in here. Well, that's because we actually have to place them down. So if we go ahead and open up that wiki that we just saw before, it gives you a overview on kind of what you need to do. So we need to create a new draft using the Station Alert tool. So here's how we can do that. We're going to type in our chat, Station Alert tool, and make sure you spell it right. Tool new. Then it's going to say enter first person to use the tool. I'm going to enter first person, and you can see there is now a dot where like the light is, and you can see if I try to place this right here, it's going to say no station location created yet. So if I go ahead and click the little icon, it says new station location. It's a little like apostrophe next to the one on your keyboard, the squiggly line is the same button. You can then create a fire station. I have no idea what that button's called, but you know. Anyway, let's go ahead and create a new fire station. So I'm just going to call this Fire Station 1 because it's going to be the only fire station in this entire town. And now you can see that if I click 1, I can select that fire station location. So right now we only have Fire Station 1. So this is going to be a Fire Station 1. And you can see I can now place this. If you can't place it, it will make a red dot. But wherever you place it, that's valid location, you can just place it. So I'm going to just left click and I have placed a light. If you want to remove it, you can right click and it will remove that as well. So we're going to go around this building and place lights wherever we think a light may be useful for a dispatch. So I'm just going to place a bunch of outdoor lights here that will all go off if the alert is given, because I think some of our firefighters may be outside if there is an alert going out. So let's see, can we place one here? We could put one inside, but we have other lights for the inside, so I don't think we can need to put any inside. I think we're good there. And then you can obviously scroll, use your scroll wheel, and at the bottom it will change and it will say, what's your next step? We can now select doors. So if you look at the door, it will say select a door. I'm going to go ahead and do this and enter a name. I'm going to call this door 1. I'm going to do the same exact thing for door 2. And we're going to do the same exact thing for door 3. And we'll make this door 3 because it's actually going to be across from door 1. Door 3. And we'll do this one as door 4. Now we have 4 doors. Now if we scroll again, you can see place a traffic light. What this means is it's going to show if the door is opened or closed. So for this door, I will put one, we'll put them in the middle actually. So we'll put one here. And then it's going to pop up and ask you what door do you want this assigned to. That will be for door 1. We'll get a second one. And this one will be for door 2. And we'll come over here and do the same thing for this side. So we'll go ahead and place one here. And this will be for door 3. And we'll place another one right on the other side. And this will be for door 4. Very nice. If we go ahead and scroll again, it will say place door controls. So these are obviously going to be door controls for the doors. So I'm going to go ahead and place that there. And I'll place one on this side because obviously you would want controls on both sides of the bay. Now you can place ceiling speakers. So these are going to be speakers that are actually inside and actually on the ceiling. So I'm going to place a couple of these around. You would realistically place these in all parts of your station, every room. So if there is an alert, you would get it across the entire station. That is kind of the point of it. So I'm going to go ahead and place one in every room, just so we have the realistic aspect of, hey, this is what it would actually be. Now we can also place external speakers. So these are going to be speakers that are going to be on the walls outside. So you can see we'll place one here. We'll place one over here. There we go. We'll place one on this side. So obviously the sound will be broadcasted outside. Now, obviously, you probably wouldn't have a billion of these speakers around. But in this case, just to show it off, I'll put that in there. And you can see, you can kind of see the bubble of where the sound is traveling. So those are the bubbles you're seeing there. Now it says select a computer. So we're going to go into the other room. One thing I noticed about this MLO is unfortunately the computers are not actual props, so I can't select them. Just for the usage of this video, I'm going to select this chair as this computer prop. It will still work around here. It will look like it's that prop. So I'm going to just go ahead and select this as the computer. Obviously, you can right click if you want to delete it. But for now, I'm going to select that as the computer. You can also have unit indicators. These are going to be light colors. So I'll go ahead and place these around the station as well. So I'll for sure place these in the bay because this is kind of where the lights are going to be dispatched from. So that is there. And then a call screen. So we'll go ahead and place a call screen. We can go ahead and place one on this side. We'll place one on the door here. And there you go. So that is pretty cool. You can also place a base game traffic light as well if you would like to do that. I'm not going to do that. And then you can hide a prop as well. So if you want to hide one of these, you can do that. But it's pretty simple. Now, once you have completed this, it is pretty simple to save the draft. You're going to just open up this. You're going to do station alert tool. And then you're going to do whatever the name of this fire station is. This is going to be station 1. So I'm going to do station 1 and press enter. And then you can see the tool is exited and everything has disappeared. The reason for this is you now actually have to start this as a station. So if we go back to our files in our server, you can see that there is going to be, if I refresh this, if I go into the server data folder here, there is going to be a draft station location folder. And in here is going to be a station1.lua. And in here, you can see it has placed all of the aspects for us. We don't have to manually edit any of this. This is all the locations for our existing station. So we are going to go ahead and copy this file, and we're going to go make a resource. So if I open up actually a second folder here in a new window, I've already made a default little script. I have Inferno Station Alert Stations, and in here I just have an FX manifest file. It's a very simple file. It just loads the station location, and in this case we rename this station 1, so I'll name this station1.lua, and it adds the dependency of station alert. And we're going to just take this draft station1.lua and paste it in the same folder that I created. And then this is one you're going to then add to your server.cfg. So if I go back to my server.cfg here, underneath wherever I just started Inferno collection, I'm going to ensure the name of that folder. It's Inferno Station Alert Stations, or whatever you want to call it. You'll make this folder yourself. Obviously, if you're watching this video, I'm expecting you have a little bit of experience doing this. You literally just make an FX manifest file. You can literally copy this one if you want. You can add unlimited locations, however many you have, and just paste that folder, that Lua file we have in our draft, over into this folder. That simple. Now, obviously, I don't want to restart the server, so I'm going to just use F8. I'm going to do refresh, and you can see there was no locations by default, so it's going to say this error in here. And then if I go ahead and start that folder, you can see it's going to say we have loaded one station resource from here. So it's loaded station 1. And if I go ahead and close this, you can see all of those aspects are now here on the wall. We got our speakers, we got our lights, and you can see the doors are no longer opening automatically. So if we go ahead and run inside, now obviously you would probably want to put door controls also on the outside of your station, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and run inside, and I can show you that this works. So you can see the lights are there on either side. You have your station bouncing around there, and you have your door controls. If you press E to access your door controls, you can see I can open all the doors. It has that nice beeping sound added to it, and you can see all the lights are blinking yellow. And then it's green, all the doors are open, and you can do the same thing to close all the doors. So I'll go ahead and press E to access these controls and close all. And you can see it's going to close all those doors as well. Now, let's go ahead and use the computer system to set off a station alert, and I can showcase what it kind of looks like. So if I come in here to where we put our chair as our computer, you can see a little pop-up that says access computer. Go ahead and press E there, and you can see I have a couple of options. I can do a new alert, a new message, a new broadcast, door controls, station alert, just activate a local alert. But we're just going to do a new alert. We're going to select our location. So if it's a multi-alarm fire, you can select multiple stations. You can select what doors are going to open. So obviously I don't want door 3 and 4, which are the back doors, to open. So I only want the first 2 to open. You can select your tone. Obviously we'll do tone 2 just for fun. And you can select the colors. So these are going to be the colors that are going to appear on that strip that you see over there. Very simple. Now you can enter a message. So I'm going to do test, 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 fire alarm at factory, and then you could do like 1031 or whatever, postal 1031 or whatever you want that message to be. And then you can go ahead and send that alert. Obviously I walked away from the computer, so that is annoying, but you can see it did save all of that info. I can press send alert, and then you can see it's going to beep there. There's the tones, there's the colors. I come out here, the doors have automatically opened. You can see the alert there on the screen, time sense alert, so that's your timeout. And then you can see that the lights outside are also blinking and circling there. So you can see the lights are circling. Hey, we have a call, it's time to go. Our colors over here are also on the wall, and then our test alert there is set up. So it's a pretty cool system. This is how it would kind of work in real life, and obviously you can come back here and you can do new messages or new broadcasts. So if I do a broadcast, you should subscribe. You can send that out, and then that would send that broadcast to all of the screens. So you can have that set up as well. You should subscribe. I agree with that. And then obviously the tone will time out eventually as well. We can go ahead and close those doors again, and we're pretty set. So that is this resource. There's the you can see the alert and broadcast has now gone back to normal. Pretty cool resource. I really enjoy it. I recommend you check it out. You can obviously have unlimited stations. You can do whatever you want. Expect video on the actual AI voice subscription version as well. But I wanted to do this just kind of to get started in the video and showcase how it works. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is Noodles. If you have questions for the author, I'll leave a link to their Discord and all of their information and documentation down in the description. But let me know what you want to see next time in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.